I stopped and thought, why is this happening to my child? None of my family members had allergies like this. So what I did is throw away all the processed food, microwave, everything possible I can to help him. And the result is his health improved.
Not only do you focus on food and really arming people on how to take care of themselves, but you're also bringing people together.
Yes.
And that's part of the human experience.
I'm always a fan of different cultures. So I started testing various recipes and actually starting taking notes and then started teaching people.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Limitless. I'm your host, Lisa Allen. This show is all about learning from business, community, and thought leaders who share their lessons, their secrets, and advice to help you accelerate your success to live a truly limitless life. I know you're busy, so I'm grateful that you're tuning in. More importantly, because you're busy, I also know it's hard to feel unstoppable if your body isn't feeling its best. My grandmother always said, "You are what you eat," and I've passed that wisdom down to my kids. Food is fuel, and in our busy lives, we can all use a little extra help to keep up. So if you're the one dragging yourself out of bed in the morning, reaching for another cup of coffee to power through the afternoon, if you're struggling with weight, or you just feel frustrated that you and your kids are constantly sick, this episode is for you. Today, I'm welcoming May Friedell, founder and CEO of Passion for Spices. May's journey started in the spice-rich lands of India, where she developed a passion for fresh, chemical-free ingredients. After a successful yet taxing career in finance, she left it all behind to focus on her son's growing food allergies and ongoing illnesses that were linked to processed foods. This shift led to the creation of her company, Passion for Spices, dedicated to promoting Indian food philosophy and sustainable, healthy cooking with organic spice blends. May is a culinary food advocate and author of an Indian cookbook for diabetics, published by the American Diabetic Association. Today, May not only advocates for organic living, but helps thousands of people across the nation shift how they eat by teaching culinary classes for kids through adults. May also spends an enormous amount of time giving back to her community, volunteering with several local organizations, such as the Suburban Chamber of Commerce, Dominican Nuns of Summit, Overlook Auxiliary, and her son's college, Hobart College. May, I could go on and on about your credentials, but thank you so much for joining me. We'll talk more about you.
Thank you, Lisa, for inviting me to this special show, Limitless, and it's perfect for me, I can tell you that.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great to see you. I will tell you, I know that you have touched so many lives with all your cooking classes, and you go on journeys for spices across the world. So I cannot wait to share with the audience what Passion for Spices means and what you've brought to the world in terms of health and healing. So since most people don't know you yet, in my audience, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Lisa, I came from a different background than the culinary, but my master's in mathematics and operation research made me come to this US. I was hired as a knowledge engineer, and I rose up in the career in financial services, and I was a proud woman who came alone as an Indian girl in my early 20s and developed my career. But as I got married and had my special son, Matthew, he had all kinds of allergies and asthma, in the hospital with pneumonia. And I sat back and understood that this was the root cause of the problem was the processed food. But in India, we grew up as you know, from a spice traders family, sustainable lifestyle practices we had embedded in our lifestyle. I stopped and thought, why is this happening to my child? None of my family members had allergies like this. So what I did is stopped, quit my job, and started throw away all the processed food, microwave, everything possible I can to help him. And the result is his health improved. And I have to tell you, the positive result is he was a top runner for Summit, top runner for the Hobart William Smith College. And he's cooking his own food sustainably and changed his life. I am very proud of that.
That's amazing. So I just want to back up for a second because you truly are the American dream. when you had spoken to me, we kind of prepped for this interview, and you mentioned that your parents, initially you were going to have an arranged marriage,
Yes.
right? I mean, you took a real chance to leave a country and come to a new country to make a life for yourself. It's extraordinary. I don't know if you want to just dive a little bit into that, because
Yes, I
you are an
can.
inspiration to me.
I can. So I am come from a very conservative family. Arranged marriage is very common, but I told my parents I want to actually, in fact, wanted to do my PhD in the U.S. I was with Indian Institute of Management, like the Harvard of India, where I had my research and all that, and I found the American professors coming there and doing fantastic research. And I was so impressed with their caliber. So I said, as a young growing career researcher, I said, I have to go to America to grow my wisdom and all that, and just get better in my workspace. So, as I said, there was a group of consultants came over to hire an interview from this fabulous organization, and I was hired as a knowledge engineer about 30 years ago. Came to this country on my own, and I was very proud. And that time, nobody came in my family. I was probably one of the first ones as a single woman to come over without getting married.
You're so brave. Okay, that is like the quintessential Limitless. That's why I really wanted people to understand and hit home on that. And the irony in your journey is you came here, you were very successful in your business life. But as busy lives sometimes come at a cost.
Yes.
And so that cost was you were unhealthy for a period of time.
Yes.
And then Matthew became unhealthy. And I really resonate with that because, I worked for JP Morgan many, many years ago. And our kids, when Trevor was first born, he was sick a lot too.
Yes.
And so it was really courageous that you'd made the decision to leave a high-powered job to stay home and take care of him.
It was not easy with with one person's income. It's not an easy thing for many people. But I did that, and it was worth it, every bit of it. But I wanted not just stay at home mom because of my background and the experience I have. I wanted to have a solid project which I can enjoy and grow. So that's how, when I stopped and I said, okay, I have to do something solid. So passion for spices really popped up in my mind. And because of my background in India and the culinary knowledge and the wisdom from my family and my business background, I thought it was a perfect fit to design the brand Passion for Spices, which can help the community. I wanted to very much get involved with the community as well. So thinking about this as a business strategist, I designed Passion for Spices.
Yeah, so talk about that a little bit.
So what I did is I kept testing. See, the thing is, the problem is in America, we don't have the help as in India. So I had to make practical recipes, So I kept testing recipes, different, not only just Indian with spices, but American way, because I have an American husband. So not just Indian, they don't just like Indian food. But I tested various cultures, and I am actually fascinated by the world cultures and the food. I'm always a fan of different cultures. So I started testing various recipes, and actually starting taking notes, and then started teaching people. And when I invite, I love entertaining, and when I entertain, my friends and family would say, "Oh my Lord, this is very, very different from what we had, and can you share the recipe, or can you teach?" And that's how I started teaching little by little. Actually, I started in my porch, and then I started little kids, and then I started at Whole Foods. They invited me, and Williams-Sonoma, and eventually I became very popular in the community, and ADA found me. They approached me and said, "We were looking for a spice expert. Can you write this book?"
Yeah.
And
it's the Indian Cuisine Diabetes Cookbook, right?
And it is #1 for heart healthy in Amazon, and it's worldwide published. And using this tool, I'm going all around the world, even to India, to talk about how we can eat healthy. The problem with, even in Indian food, there are many varieties of food, something greasy without things. I handpicked various regional cuisines and came up with the best practices from interviewing with grandmas and chefs, and I came up with this wonderful collection of 140 recipes.
I love that. And you've gone on journeys too. I mean, I've heard you
Yes.
go on trips with locals who come on that journey with you on a
Yes.
trip. So talk a little bit about what
So,
that looks like.
Passion for Spices brand, my focus was to develop the brand. The core of it is culinary literacy and education. It's not just cooking classes. Cooking classes people can do, but it's more than that. Where is the food coming from? You have a connection with the local farmers. What type of salt do you use? What type of oils do you use? What vessels do you use? What is the cooking techniques you use? So it's all embedded in our teaching process and presentations. I train all the chefs who come here, even if the Michelin star chefs has to follow my guideline and methodology. So I developed that methodology so that everybody who comes here and shares that sustainable practices. No plastics, everything is beautifully laid after they cook together. And hands-on cooking, people want hands-on cooking. Many places they don't have that. They want to learn how to cook properly. And simple techniques, it doesn't have to be complicated. The basics of cooking has to be embedded in our lifestyle practice in order to be healthy. That is the focus of our cooking school. And not only just cooking, an experience, and I call it the breaking bread with communities. Basically, you cook together, sit down, and eat a meal together in a beautiful setup with flowers, with candles, linen napkins. And it's actually everything is a theme, curated theme. For example, Tuscan style has a Tuscan style colors, and French style will have its own colors. So I thought about this very well in details, every little bit. So that is the journey I have, and it's so exciting. And I have to tell you, every day is a joy for me, involving with Passion for Spices projects and businesses.
You are so passionate just about life and the zest that you bring, not just to your business, but to your business, to your family, to your community. You are somebody who just really takes the time to look around and breathe it in and see where you can make a difference.
Yes, but as a knowledge management expert, I have written several books on that. I'm a pioneer actually even in AI and expert system. But one of the things I learned is knowledge is power. You have to gather knowledge as much as you can from the best. You can get knowledge from the internet, but that's not enough. You want to make sure it's the right knowledge. So I have about 3,000 books. I have a library in my home. So I have connections with all around the world culinary historians. See, one of them invited me to write this book, which is actually like an encyclopedia.
Wow. And it's called, I just want to, for the viewers, because they can't see it, so it's called the Bloomsbury Handbook Indian Cuisine.
Indian cuisine. It can be used in universities. It is a real beautiful book. And I was invited. I was very thankful. They invited me to write about my Syrian Christian background, culture, and heritage. It's not a recipe book, but I am into the history and culture of the world. And especially I have such a beautiful background. Why not showcase that? Many people don't know. Whether people ask me, I'm a Christian thousands of years ago. And our practices, I still try to practice, like for example, the Lent. I observe all the Lent, 40 days, I don't eat any meat. So from grandmothers, but we have special cuisine for that. So during that Lent time, that makes you healthy, and actually fasting and all that. I still practice from my background. So these are special things you want to continue, otherwise it'll be lost. I thought this is very important, the grandma's recipes and the heritage you want to share with the community.
Yeah. So a couple things. First of all, I'm hearing some traits, some leadership traits that you're talking about. And one of them that you talked about is that you have to go out and you got to be a learner. You make a habit of learning from the best. You're not just learning from anybody.
Yes.
You're digging in and you're trying to figure out information. So I just want to stick on that point for a minute.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, I think that's very important. That's why I can say that our knowledge at Passion for Spices, the chefs, and myself, including, has to have the best knowledge of whatever we teach, whether it's Thai cuisine or Chinese cuisine or Indian cuisine. I try to get that. I research, and we have a whole research team actually. So we call it the Food Literacy Center. So we research about from the best. For example, turmeric. I have in this book, I cannot say turmeric is good for you, but I have to have the right link, right place where they have researched, tested, And that's how we share the knowledge. We don't just say, oh, turmeric is good for healing, but it's actually from background and the research, and we point out the right knowledge for people to share.
There's science behind it.
Yeah, science behind it. And also my knowledge management background really helped me to figure this out, the whole structure of the food literacy programs. The knowledge has to be updated. It can get outdated.
Yes.
For example, in this book, I put the oil, sunflower oil and grapeseed oil were good at that time from Harvard University, and all the doctors I knew said that, but now it's not.
See, that's where I get frustrated, though. I have to be honest that, in the 70s, they said eggs were bad. Today, eggs are good.
Yeah.
I feel like there's, it's constantly
Changing, yeah. So you have to keep up with
how
that.
do we know what's real and what's not?
Yeah, but I go to the basics from all. That's why it's important to look at the ancient cultures and the old cultures. For example, I am researching on the Blue Zone, Sardinia.
And blue zones,
Okinawa,
just for the audience, are
regions of the world where people live the longest
okay.
and happiest.
Yeah.
So why? They are using the purest of the pure olive oil. They have the best sun. They go out in the sun. They have community. All these things, and local, fresh. If you go to Spain, if you go to France, if you go to Sardinia and special places like that, people cook local, everything fresh, local. It's not complicated. Food should not be complicated. Simple pasta. People say if you go to Italy and eat pasta, you don't have any allergies. I totally believe my son's allergy is because of the processed food. When I stopped everything processed, everything from scratch, pancake to breads to everything I make from scratch.
Okay, but when I hear that, I'm going to tell you, some people are probably like myself groaning in the background saying, oh, from scratch.
But tell me how difficult it is to have a pancake from a box to have converted some of my friends, American friends. So to mix eggs, fresh organic eggs and good flour, organic flour, and a little buttermilk, it's not difficult than taking a box.
So do you make this easy to...
Easy, practical. I tested. It took me 3 years to do this.
Okay, because I'm not much of a cook. I'm a busy mom. There's lots of busy moms out there. There's, two parents working in the family.
Yes.
So by the time they get home at night, they don't want to be working hard in a kitchen for 30 minutes. So I need to know that it's easy. Are there easy recipes that we can do? Give me like one or two off the top of your head that, just as an example, that parents can do.
I will tell you, first of all, you start, things I want to tell you how I start the day also. I start with a cleansing process, which is an Ayurvedic method, like lukewarm water with lemon water.
Okay.
And I start that. And then what's my breakfast, if you ask me? It is very simple, wholesome food. Breakfast is important. For example, if I make oatmeal, it's steel cut, organic oatmeal, or a whole grain oatmeal with flax meal and wheat germ. So I cook it very slow, and lentil crepes, for example, as you know, fermented food is very good for your gut. So we have an Indian lentil crepe, which is dosa, and that I figured out how to use the Vitamix to make it. It takes me 10 minutes to make that. But I have in my book as well the same recipe. But for example, curries in a hurry. I do that all the time. Quick lentil butternut squash curry, a chicken curry, quick in a pressure cooker. Takes about 10 minutes.
Oh.
So, and then with steamed rice,
That's
it's a meal.
manageable.
It's a meal.
Yeah.
It's a complete meal with the dollop of homemade grass-fed ghee.
It's a meal and manageable, because that's really the key, is you want to make sure it's
and
manageable.
I am on the run all the time. So I have various projects. For example, this week I have 3 major companies coming for team building. I have to eat. If I don't eat, I'll be tired and I'll get sick. I have to build my immune system myself. So that without that, I cannot run this show.
Let me ask you this, because everybody also wants to know, what are the top 3 things that you would want to eat every day to make sure you stay healthy, especially during flu season, because everybody's getting sick?
So every week I make this bone broth. Very simple, organic bones you can get from my delivery people. So local farmers, they deliver. I ask them, it's $5 for a bag of 5 pounds of chicken bones. Basically, put that in a pot, cook that with lots of water in a big, large pot, and take the scum out, and then put all the vegetables like celery, carrots, parsley, garlic, peppercorns, and cook it slow, simmer for 5 hours. That's bone broth.
That's it.
You can use it for everything you want. You want soup with the soba noodles. My husband just has, when he comes back, that's a meal.
Right.
Like ginger, garlic, lots of onions, This is a must in our house.
Okay, and those are good for gut health.
Good for gut health. And good organic eggs, everything is try to get organic and local and fresh. And freshly, if you can, for example, I have just marinated some salmon with my spices, grated ginger and garlic, lemon juice, and that's it. And you just put in the oven, and dinner is, and with sweet potatoes. I love sweet potato and I use it a lot. I just throw in, just poke it with a little fork and put in the oven 3 or 4 sweet potatoes, and I just pop that and
You're making me
grilled
hungry.
Grilled salmon, and it's good for your skin, good for all the vitamins and everything. It's a fantastic meal. So easy. I have to eat healthy and tasty.
Yeah. I actually have been drinking celery juice in the morning, first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that is actually very good. But I think I rather eat the wholesome fruits and vegetables. I prefer that.
Okay.
Because they say once you put in the Vitamix, some of the chemical bonds change when you make juices. I know many people like that, and I know that especially you like that. But I prefer fresh pineapples, fresh avocados, fresh spinach, sautéed with spinach. Sautéed, how easy it is to take a whole big bag of spinach, put a little bit of good olive oil, garlic, little pepper flakes, and saute. I bunch big bag of.
Yep.
That's what, and a grilled fish or a chicken.
That's
what we
perfect.
eat most of the time.
Yeah.
So healthy and easy.
Yeah. We're winding down time, so I have 2 things I want to talk to you about really quickly. Diabetes, it's on the rise.
Yes.
A lot of kids, it never existed before, but from 12 to 18, it's up almost 38%.
Right.
What do you say to those parents?
You have to start looking at cooking at home mostly. I'm not very comfortable going out. I'm sorry about the restaurants. I only hand-picked restaurants and chefs I know who use the right products. It's the oils they use, it's bad. You can get Chinese food, but I don't know what they use. It's vegetable oil, corn oil, all that stuff. It's extremely bad for chronic illnesses. So we just start cooking at home, simple food, wholesome food, and a balanced food. Not only just cooking a little, but you have to figure out the balanced meal, which actually helps your gut. It has to be a combination of lentils, local seasonal vegetables. You can have butternut squash to sweet potato to spinach to, there's many varieties of tasty meals you can make. And we are there to handhold with you and teach people the techniques of to cut vegetables to roasting chicken to very simple things. People are coming from all over to learn from our culinary school.
Got it. This show's about being limitless. And I feel like we've really covered about how you've been limitless, but how do you plan to live limitless this year? And how do you define your life as being limitless?
I feel like with this platform I have, my things I can influence people and to myself to make myself happy, it's limitless. I'm traveling all around the world, learning from the best. I'm launching my travel adventure called the Spice Trail Adventure, where it's not just a tourist program. It is a place where you can go, learn about culture, how they live, and you can embed that in your lifestyle. So very, very handpicked. I handpicked those areas and regions of the world where we can go and learn. And the effect of this platform is limitless as well. Little kids from 2-year-olds to 95-year-olds come. Wow. So seniors to disabled kids, I've been expanding my programs to various programs. I am so thankful and grateful, first of all, to the City of Summit for providing me the license and all the things I need, and the Calvary Church, which is a platform which I really am thankful for that, because without that, I can't do this. And I didn't want to move from Summit, my favorite community, so that I can just help the local community, which I have started with. So that is a blessing, and I'm very grateful, and it is going to continue to help with the wellness and mental and physical. Yeah. It's mental and physical as well with my programs. So I'm very grateful and thankful for this program.
So May, tell me what programs Passion for Spices offers.
So our culinary school has basically a little young kids program, young adults program. We have a private cooking events where we do birthday parties, private events, and specialized cuisines from the world, like French to Thai to Indian to all specialized classes. And then we have the corporate events where multiple programs happen over the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. We have corporate team builders coming in to gather together and cook together and enjoy the meal together. And our summer programs are very popular. This is the 15th year. I'm so thankful. And this is expanding to college kids now. The last week of our program is called the Culinary Teen Competition, where they learn their skill set coming every day, building like to make soups, to sides, to learning their knife skills. And the end of the week, we have a mystery basket. It's like the chop format. We open up a mystery basket. They have to make a full course meal and present it to the parents and family. This has been getting very popular. I'm so thrilled it's getting expanded.
You're going to need your own show for that one. So what I love about this, what I'm hearing, is not only do you focus on food and really arming people on how to take care of themselves, but you're also bringing people together. And that's part of the human experience. I think that anytime you can create activities that bring us together, which usually through food is a great way to do that, it makes our world a better place.
And that takes, I can point out to my next book called Breaking Bread with Communities, which I'm very thrilled. Already 100 recipes are organized. And I'm sending it to the publisher, and it's going to be going to all universities. So where actually the test pilot is at Hobart William Smith. I'm in the executive board there. So we are teaching, organizing a space called Our Kitchen, where kids can come to cook together and have a meal together. And the food studies professors, they want me to come and teach some classes about spices as well. But this is going to be a pilot for me. I am thinking of going to all universities where the kids can start learning to cook and have a meal together. And actually, one of the things I'm telling them to use a swipe card where they can get a harvest box from the local farmers, so the young adults can get used to the local farming products. So that's one thing I'm researching and figuring out how to do.
Wow. How do people find you if they're interested?
Oh, you can go to the website, passionforspices.com, and we keep posting social media posts on Instagram. Follow us, Facebook, and also come to the Chamber of Commerce's and all those places where you can see what we do and present.
Yeah, because you're the vice
chair for the summit. Yeah,
that's great.
But come join these programs. Help join the community and help each other. So and then seek help from the local CA. That's one thing I did. Instead of hiring heavy duty consultants, I had my friends who are experts in various aspects of the business. I went and knocked on their door and please help me. I didn't have startup cost so much to begin with.
Right.
See, those are the things people have to remember. Don't borrow money too much. It's not easy to pay that back. Finally, I'm so thankful. I've cleared all my debt and zero debt, and now I can figure out. That's why I said it's the beginning where I can grow, and exponentially I can grow.
That is one thing that stuck with me, is that you had said you didn't have a lot of debt with this business, and that you've learned how to scale a business from one person to 100 people if you need to.
Yes.
That's the key, because I've had other businesswomen say, like, sometimes you think spending it means they will come, and that's not true.
I did step by step, little programs, and I tested the model and pilots, things. I tested with the corporate. I saw that they wanted more and more. The way I did it, they loved it because it's a great platform. They get good food and they learn to cook together. They learn a lot of food literacy as well. They learn about food because many people don't know.
Right.
So that's what I think it's growing, because people like and they are in need for this knowledge.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming
Lisa,
today.
and good luck with your program.
And thank you for keeping us healthy for the rest of this year. I'm going to be focusing on gut health this year.
Yes.
And we want to thank you for tuning in to Limitless. As we discussed today, so many of us live busy lives, and fueling our bodies with the right nourishment is key to running at our best. Key takeaways from today are from our premier food advocate and culinary author are: take time to breathe and decompress. Really pay attention to your surroundings. Choose organic foods with simple, recognizable ingredients, and always be open to learning and evolving your eating habits for better health. Food doesn't have to be intimidating. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it should always be delicious.
Yes.
Leverage the right food to live your best year yet. For more programming like this, please visit HTTV's website or any of our social media sites. I'm Lisa Allen, and I look forward to seeing you again on our next episode of Limitless.